welcome to the Nisto Bros podcast, episode 59. I came in hot. I was coming in hot because I'm fired up. We got the first ever Mount Rushmore episode with a guest, my man, Alphonso McCree Jr. Say hello to the people.
Alphonso.
Ooh. Hey, in the
building.
Hit him
with the RVD. I like it. I'm loving it. So as I've been hinting at it, I hinted at it last week, and then I said it on Nisto Eats with the I am. That is Alfonso's brand. Alfonso is going to talk more about that because he'll do it better justice than I will. So Alfonso, explain what the I am movement is, if you will.
So pretty much, well, first of all, thank you for the shout out and thanks for having me on.
Of course.
It's cool to finally meet Austin and talk to him for the first time after watching the episodes and seeing like your great work and all the content. Like there's no way I can get through all this content anytime soon. Killing it. But
thank you.
The I am brand is basically something that I came up with because it's a long story, but long story short, I believe that what you are is what you say that you are. So you know, a lot of times you'll see people and they'll be like, oh, I'm so broke right now, or you know, like something negative that they have to say about themselves, and they don't understand that the world works in energy waves. Like everything around us is energy. When you go and you interact with somebody and you feel good after you talk to them, that's an energy transfer. When you leave that conversation like irritated or annoyed, that's an energy transfer as well. When you're in a big room and you're feeling chaotic and you're like, man, I don't want to be here, I got to get out of here, that's an energy thing. Like a lot of people don't realize that it's just you're feeling too much energy, you know what I mean? And the words that you speak are also energy too. And everything that you say matters. Words carry more weight than people understand. And so the whole purpose of this brand, I Am, was to teach people, like, say what you actually want to be in life. If you want to be successful, stop saying I'll never amount to anything and, you know, feeling bad for yourself. Instead, start speaking positive affirmations over yourself and just watch how the universe has no choice but to start changing in a way that positively affects you, because that's what you said that you are. Like you're making that statement. So, you know, I say nothing but positive affirmations over myself. And anytime I slip and say a negative one, I cover it up with 3 positives immediately. This is one of my shirts that I have on my website, www.iammorningshow.com. I have a I Am affirmations collection, with the word I am on the front, and a bunch of affirmations that will impact you positively on the back of the shirt. Michael recently ordered some stuff. Really appreciate that, buddy. And the whole purpose of my brand is just help people and guide people to understanding their life can be what they want it to be, as long as they understand how this world actually works and the right way to go about getting the things that you want.
Yeah. So I ordered some stuff. So all of the credentials for Alfonso and the I Am Morning Show will be in the description for this episode. But yeah, definitely check this stuff out. I mean, I know personally, and yeah, I'm a little biased because he's a good friend of mine now, but it's definitely helped me. You know, you speak positively about yourself and you just feel better about yourself, you know, so it definitely helps. So definitely anybody interested, check that out, reach out to Alfonso and buy his merch for goodness sakes, and buy some Nisto Bros merch too while you're at it. Check out that sweet Mount Rushmore shirt, available in many, many colors. Use promo code Nisto Ships on all your future orders for free shipping. Do it.
There it is.
There it is.
And I'm not sure if Mike mentioned at the top, but one of the reasons Alfonso is here is for the first ever Mount Rushmore with a guest. So stay tuned. Later in the episode, we will dive into that. What is this Mount Rushmore today?
We're doing it's only fitting that Alfonso and we go to Full Sail together. Sportscasting, you know, we're in the School of Sportscasting, Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, and we're doing Sportscasters. That's what we're doing. Mount Rushmore Sportscasters could be very similar, could be very different too, because there's so many good ones. There's going to be many that we've probably miss. Probably a lot of honorable mentions too as we go. So that's going to be good. I'm going to do it. I did it.
Sure. Yeah.
That's one.
That's one.
But as for the birthdays today, what do we got for the birthdays? We got some big ones.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'm gonna say the first one here is gonna be a baseball legend. Maybe 300 wins. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Braves pitcher John Smoltz. Happy birthday to him. Now he's on MLB Network, I'm pretty sure, from time to time. So he's kind of made that transition. And I think the most unique thing and one of the coolest things about John Smoltz's career was that he went, like, after he had an injury, he came back as a closer and had like a 55 save season, and then went back to being a starter later in his career. That's such a unique thing that almost no one, I think, has done. And, that really cements him, aside from being a just phenomenal starting pitcher as well.
Is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
I think so.
I think he might be.
Well,
if he's not,
I'll check when we do the thing.
Yeah, if he's not, he definitely should be. Also, he was a Red Sox pitcher too.
I believe so.
I mean, he wasn't one of those guys that bounced around. I mean, you'll be able to
look with the Braves for a while.
Yeah, Brave. I feel like it was Braves and Red Sox. Like maybe that was it. I don't know. Maybe he had a cup of tea for one other team, but yeah, John Smoltz. I forgot that he went from starter to closer.
Yeah.
I think there was.
I always remember that about him.
I'm thinking of one other one that's done that, but I can't remember who.
I don't know.
I feel like there was at least one more. It's not important. But so Alphonso, what we do with the birthdays, Austin and I, we've done this thing. We've done it at baseball games. We'll see, a batter that comes up or a pitcher, and we'll guess their middle name, and then we'll look it up. So that's what we started doing for these birthdays. So I'm thinking, I'm going classic here. I'm going John Joseph.
Wow.
John Joseph Schmaltz. That's what I'm going. John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
I knew that one was coming.
I'm feeling John Joseph.
I'm gonna say John Eric.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with John Eric.
Now Smoltz. with a C, with a K, or with a CK?
With a C.
Because
only C.
Only C. I did that once.
What
was that? 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago.
PH.
I said it was going to be Steven with a V, but it was actually Steven with a PH, and I was slightly upset.
Yeah.
Alphonso, what do you think for the John Schmaltz middle name?
I'm gonna go Alexander.
All right.
Ooh.
John
okay.
Schmaltz.
John Alexander Schmaltz. I like it. It's got a ring to it.
Pretty close, Alphonso. We had John Andrew Smoltz.
He got the initials.
Yes.
That's
Let's
big.
get a prize.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there's no prizes here. Not 300 wins, only 213. Definitely Hall of Famer though.
Yes. How many saves has he got?
He has 154 saves. He only had 3 seasons. It was 55, 45, 44.
What? 3 seasons as a closer, and that's elite.
And then the next season he was an all-star starter, 14-7 with a 3.06 ERA.
So he went from starter to closer back to starter?
Yep.
What a king. And what were those teams real quick?
Yes.
Sorry.
His last season, he played for 2 teams, the Red Sox and the Cardinals, as a 42-year-old.
Cardinals.
He always stayed with the red.
It was those 3 teams, Braves,
with the red.
Braves, Red Sox, Cardinals.
Yep.
He likes red.
Yep.
Someone else who likes red. I actually have no context to that. I don't know for sure if he likes red at all. Maybe. Actually, yeah, there's a correlation that this could work. Ron Simmons of the APA. The APA had red in their little graphic logo thing. So Ron Simmons.
For sure.
Damn. That was pretty good.
Not bad at all.
I thought he was here.
Austin, you give it a shot.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't have that real baritone voice. Damn. That's fine.
Oh my God.
Alphonso, you gotta hit it with it. Yours is gonna be.
I have to do him proud here.
It's gonna be better than mine. I can tell.
Damn.
Oh,
Farouk, are you there?
He's here. I think he's here. I think Ron.
Do you think his name's Ron Simmons, right?
I think his name is actually Ron Simmons. Okay. Man, I have no idea for his middle name. I'm gonna go. Maybe it's Ronald. Ronald.
Ronald?
No. I'm saying for like his first name,
His
Ron.
first name.
Like
Oh.
Ronald Simmons. Ronald. You'd be surprised some of the guesses. Ronald. If it's Ronald, it's got to be Donald. Donald Simmons.
I was thinking Don for sure.
Yeah, or it could be Ron Don. I'm down with that. Isn't that a restaurant? That's Ron John. Ron John. Don.
Oh, I think it's
Is it
Ranjan
Ron
Singh.
John? Ranjan Singh? I'm sticking with it. Ron Don.
Okay.
Ronald Donald. There's no way that's gonna be it, but it feels good.
It's interesting with like a one syllable first name. I feel like it's like Ron. Where do you go after that? Do you go multiple syllables?
That's why I think it's Ronald.
I'm gonna go Ron Tim Simmons.
Tim?
Yeah, going with good old
T-Bone.
Tim.
Good old Tim. What if his middle name is
Uh,
Damn?
Whoa.
I mean, he could have got it legally changed.
He probably could have. Alphonso,
I'm
what are
gonna
you thinking
go
for-
with Ronald Acuna Simmons. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go. I'm sticking with my A's here, and I'm gonna keep guessing Alexander until I get it right. So Alexander.
That's a good strategy, honestly.
Yeah.
That's not a
Eventually, I
bad
have to
strategy.
be right.
Eventually,
At
he's gotta
some
be right.
point, yeah.
I want to change my guess. I think it might be Farouk. No, I'm kidding. Just keep going.
Okay.
Or Bradshaw. Ron Bradshaw Simmons. That's not bad.
We have Ronald, no middle name, Simmons.
Son of a biscuit. That's
No
always
middle name.
That's always.
But he is Ronald. So now
he is
we all
Ron.
know that.
All right, so I knew that one. I'm
Right.
gonna go back to back on the birthdays here. This one is my favorite one, and I teased this one to Alfonso. I said, "Hey, there's a birthday on this list that you're gonna really like," and I don't think he knows that it's this man's birthday today, and it's a man that's very near and dear to our hearts. Alfonso, do you want to take any guesses at whose birthday it could be?
Dan Patrick.
How did you knew?
I didn't.
It is Dan Patrick's birthday today. Man, the myth, the legend, Dan Patrick. The reason why Alfonso and I are even friends. Let's say that. You
Yeah.
know, he's got his name on our school and his program, and it is his birthday today.
Happy
And
birthday, Dan.
I don't know his middle name. So if he does end up watching this, I'm sorry. But you're
Well,
a king.
We're going to guess.
I'm gonna
going-
say he has no middle name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I think it should be. I think his middle name should be the Man, so it's Dan the Man Patrick.
Okay.
But I don't think that's it. I don't think his parents. would
I'm
have
pretty
done
sure like that. That's probably it.
that could be. He should have legally changed it. I'm going Daniel Timothy
Okay.
Patrick. Three first names.
3 first names. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going Daniel Richard.
Okay.
And that's my last.
Just know if
Yes.
it's Alexander, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
Kinda hope it is
Okay.
now.
I don't really know how to say this. It's Goeb, 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 Dan Goeb Patrick.
All right, 0%. I would have gotten that.
Yeah,
I
negative
didn't know that
percent.
was a word.
I don't.
How would you guys say that? Goeb.
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 Yeah.
Goeb.
Goeb.
I can't wait to meet the man, and I gotta
Probably
ask him.
maybe Job. Maybe
that-
he is pronounced like with the J sound.
Job.
Yeah.
I want to
Dan
ask him.
Patrick.
I'll hit him up on the celly after this.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, don't actually have his number.
And on this day, May 15th, we had a few
I said clearly.
historic
Good
things
come to life.
go down. So in 1800, 221 years ago, very
It's insane.
monumental anniversary.
At least 6 days ago.
That's the year I was born.
6 days. 6 years. I mean. You look great for 201. I gotta
Thanks,
say.
man.
We had we love to bring these up when we see them on the show. We have a King George III of England. He survives a second assassination attempt. In 1800, someone tried to assassinate him again.
It's just insane.
It's
It's just insane. Like the how this whole thing started, Alfonso, was we were looking for On This Days, and I think it was Andrew Jackson. It was the first one.
It was Andrew Jackson.
He survived an assassination attempt. We're like, whoa, what the heck? Or it was the first assassination attempt on a president. I think it was why it was so substantial and stuck out to us. So like now, every time we see an assassination attempt, we got to put it in there. But this one stuck out because it was his second. It was a second attempt on him.
People did not like him, I guess.
In 1800 too. Like what were they using at that time?
Just
like
throwing rocks at him or
rocks?
something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Throwing a scroll at his head or something.
A squirrel. What year were squirrels invented though?
A feather pen or something like that.
You said squirrels invented. Let's move past this. Just a few years later, in 1918, we're going back to the baseball. The Washington Senators, Washington Senator pitcher Walter Johnson pitches a 1-0 shutout in 18 innings. This man pitched 2 complete games in 1 game. They were like, screw the bullpen. They can all get a day off. Big Walt, you're out there. Go and do it. It's all on you today. 18 innings by himself. I wish they had a pitch count. It had to be almost 300.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not 300, but like 250.
250, something like that.
250, I think is about right. That's just insane.
Now, I wonder how many strikeouts he had and how many.
I think I looked it up. I think it was 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, it wasn't that many because you got to think about like the pitching was so different back then. They were more like pitch to contact kind of things, but like still like 9 strikeouts in 18 innings is just kind of insane. I mean, just guy pitched 18 innings.
Yeah, that's the biggest part I think for me.
What 18, the Tommy John surgery? Like
yeah,
what?
That's unprecedented. It's like it's something that's never gonna happen again. Like anything close to that, really. Like I was just. Earlier in the season, Shane Bieber he finished a complete game, but it was a tie game. Mm-hmm. And like I was like, are they gonna let him go after the 10th? Because he was pitching a shutout. He pitched a complete game shutout and it went to the 10th. I was like, are they gonna let him pitch? And they didn't. He had like 100 something pitches. Mm-hmm. So they took him out. But I was like,
so like that's 100 something through 9. So like it's easily could have been 250.
Yeah.
For the other guy. So now I want to ask you a question. So since Madison Bumgarner pitched a complete game no-hitter through 7 innings, which should be a no-hitter because it's an official MLB game, don't at me. Does this guy get 2 shutouts? 2 complete game shutouts because he pitched 18 innings?
No.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to bring up Mad Bump because that was a no-hitter.
I think the only people who like that decision are Royals fans. They still haven't forgiven him.
What, that it wasn't a no-hitter?
No, they still haven't forgiven him for that postseason. They felt like they should have won the World Series, and then Bumgarner was just untouchable the entire time.
I mean, Mad Bum is just an absolute king.
Oh, you know what I just thought of, Mike?
What'd you think?
Adam Wainwright started as a closer and then became a starter.
Is
that who you were thinking of?
I think that's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought postseason.
And he came back too as a starter.
Yes.
He's a starter again. And he's like 90 years old, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely
give or take.
Pretty old.
Yeah.
I have no segue. I'm going to Nisto drinks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't wait to see how you transition this. I got to turn my air conditioner on. My goodness, I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, I mean it's warm here on Long Island, so I'm wondering how hot it is down there.
Yeah. Hey, Siri, what's the temperature?
Hey.
1 sec.
Oh, wow. Okay. Typical.
It's currently 81 degrees.
81?
81. There's no chance. It's got to be like 7,000% humidity. I gotta reconfirm this. It's actually only 42% humidity.
Well, when it is hot and over the summer, it's 4th of July, I think my drink that's what it's made for, Mountain Dew,
Good
Dew
transition.
SA.
Dew SA.
So have you guys tried all 3 of the flavors? Because it's a combination of Code Red, Whiteout, and Voltage Mountain Dew.
I actually have had all of them, I think. Mostly Voltage.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Voltage, Code Red, and then Whiteout in that order from most to least. But yes, I've tried them all.
Alphonso, have you tried them?
So of course I grew up drinking Code Red. Voltage I have from time to time. The only one I haven't had is the Whiteout.
Yeah, so the Whiteout I felt is probably the least common of them, and kind of hardest to find, I guess.
See them more like if you do see them, you don't really recognize that it's a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
You kind of just look over it. The one that really sticks out to me usually is the orange flavor.
Yeah. If I see the orange,
isn't it like
wire?
blood orange or something? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I think that's more like it.
It's pretty good, but at some point, like all the different flavors of Mountain Dew start to like burn your mouth the same, so they start to taste the same.
A little bit.
So I'm wondering if the Dew SA one, like, is that one like distinctly different from all the other ones, all the other alternate flavors?
Yeah, so that was pretty much my main gripe with it, to be honest, was like exactly what you just said. It was not really unique in any way. Like I felt like it was mostly Voltage flavor. Like it was very on point with hitting that, but then the other 2 I almost got nothing of, and then it just kind of left like a pretty subdued just Voltage flavor. Like there was other stuff in there. I could tell that it was like it wasn't full Voltage, but that was the main flavor that I was getting from it, and then it was just like, oh, it's a regular Mountain Dew after that. So I felt kind of disappointed because I thought it was going to be a little bit more balanced. Like I said in the review, I almost got no Code Red from it, which like I expected, because I thought like Code Red was definitely one of, I would say, the most popular of those 3. I don't know if I'm wrong in that. Like I feel
close. It would be close between that and Voltage, I think.
Yeah. But I was just gonna say, like, there was like no hint of really any Code Red that I got, at least. And I thought it was just really, really weird that, they didn't really capitalize on that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I wasn't really blown away by it. I didn't think, I think it could have been executed much better. But also, I did mention, I think it's hard to get that many like distinct flavors in a soda.
Three flavors in one is a lot.
Yeah, and to get them all like distinctly is definitely difficult. But maybe they just should have been a little bit more ambiguous with what the flavors were, and you wouldn't have been expecting all of them or something like that.
Yeah, especially question, like, are they just putting out the same thing in different bottles?
Right? Are they just putting a little bit different color mixture in there, or something like that?
Especially with like 3 flavors that are so like pronounced, like by themselves, to put them all together is just like, it's just kind of weird to have like 3 strong flavors in one and trying to taste all of them. That's you're just asking for stuff to get lost in the shuffle. Maybe they should have tried 2, but like I understand why they were going with the red Dew and blue, and what the hell was it called?
Dew SA, red, white, and blue.
Dew SA. I was trying to say red, white, and blue, but it was Dew SA, not.
Yeah. And actually, the drink I'm trying next week, because I mentioned I do have it for next week. I'm gonna be honest right now. It's a little similar in the sense that I saw there's a lot of different things that were put into it. There's a lot of different flavors claimed to be a part of it. So I'm going in now with kind of that hesitation of being like, okay, maybe I'm not going to get every single that's they say is going to be in it. I don't want to spoil too much about the drink. I just want to put that out there for the pod listeners first.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And it seemed like the Nisto Eats disappointment, if you will, went over to Nisto Drinks. But this week on Nisto Eats didn't have that. Very not disappointed, if you will. Reese's Big cups with pretzels. It was a mouthful. Like, no pun intended. Like, it was a mouthful. Like, to say all that, it's like, why can't you just call it a Reese's cup with pretzels? But they're big cups. They're big cups. They're big boys, as I said. Absolutely great. I said it on the review. They were very much like a Take 5 minus the caramel. So, like, if you took out the caramel from a Take 5 and just added more peanut butter, that's kind of what it was. And it was very good. And I just wish there was more than 2 cups in there, because I probably could have went to Pound Town on about 10 of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
No,
big
I
cups?
maybe
feel
not.
like I feel like I'm 40 years old sometimes because I really love 100 grand bars.
I
Like,
love 100 grand bars.
they're just
Okay,
so
I see you.
tremendous, man. Like, from the flavor to the texture to, like,
So good.
man,
It's definitely an underrated candy.
it
It's
is
an underrated
it is.
candy bar.
And they don't do a whole lot of commercials. You know what I
No.
mean? So, like, you're not going to see them like you would a Snickers and go like, oh yeah,
Right.
let's get a Snickers. But if you know the bar, you know it's probably better than a lot of the stuff on the shelf.
Do you find that they're kind of hard to find sometimes? Because I personally, here at least, I feel like there's only like a few stores that really have them. And so when I see them and I'm in that store, I'm like, all right, it's time to get a 100 grand bar, you know?
Yeah, and like sometimes you gotta get them in the assorted packs and things
Yep.
like that. Like
Mhm.
it's tough. It's tough being a fan of 100 grand and trying to find it. So yeah, I could agree with that statement. I have seen more of them since I've been down here in Florida though.
Okay.
So like
Interesting. I'll have to be on the lookout.
if Mike told you, I came down from DC, so I'm from the Northeast as well.
Gotcha.
And like they're very particular about the stuff that's on their shelf. You know what I mean? And you might be able to find 100 grand at a Wawa somewhere or something like that, but it's not very common to see it in like your Walmart and things like that, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
ever since I got down here, I've been seeing them more often. I'll pick up one every once in a while.
I feel like I've seen them at the Wawa by me. I have to check. I have to be more intuitive. Is that the proper word? Attentive.
Yes.
I'm just throwing out all the big words that I don't know the meanings of. Excellent.
Watch your six, man. Watch your six for 100 grand.
And going back to Nisto Eats, I feel like, just a quick last comment, maybe, I feel like chocolate, peanut butter, and pretzels is a combination where you can't really go wrong, you know?
Yeah, I
Peanut
think
butter and
you'd have
pretzels by
to-
themselves, chocolate and pretzels by themselves, chocolate
Yeah.
and peanut butter, and then you put all 3 together. You know,
I feel
you
like
got a
you'd have to
recipe.
try to mess that up. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way that you can mess that up somehow, like without trying to mess that up.
Right.
Like, how?
It's a
can
pretty
we mess
surefire
this up?
winning combination.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just bit my tongue.
What a loser.
Absolutely idiot, imbecile. Speaking of, no, I don't want to say that. That's kind of disrespectful.
God, man.
No,
What kind
no.
of transition was that?
That was absolutely garbage. Speaking of garbage, no, I'm kidding. Speaking of not garbage and not idiots, a little
Okay.
better,
Okay. All right.
We're diving in here. Mount Rushmore of Sportscasters. So first ever, again, with the guest on here, we're gonna go. Yeah, there it is. Check that sweet shirt out. You want it? Get it. Go to the description bio link thing somewhere over there.
That's my next
And
one.
click it and buy it. A lot of them, every
Yeah.
color, long sleeve, short sleeve,
Purple.
tank top, purple. Don't buy
Green.
purple
Why
or
not?
green. Don't buy the purple.
No,
the dark
my
colors.
friend bought a light purple one. It looks great.
Okay, light purple. Don't go with the dark colors.
Go
okay?
lavender.
No lavender. No forest green.
Hmm.
But get all the colors, all of the sizes. Okay, maybe not all the sizes, but get one for everyone in the family. We're approaching June, and everybody knows what happens in June. It's Family June Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you the whole family for Family June Day has got to rep the Nisto Bros.
Something's not adding up over here. Mike.
Yeah, that's okay. Transitioning. I think Family June Day should be a thing, and I think it should be absolutely mandatory to wear Nisto Bros merch. Or if you're not wearing Nisto Bros merch, you're wearing IM merch. You dig? Do it.
I mean, the shirt speaks for itself. Like, we're
Yeah.
innovating a new holiday here.
I am innovating a new holiday. So anybody higher ups that are watching this that are thinking, hey, Family June Day is a great idea. Let's call them.
Hit us up.
Hit me up on that hotline bling. You remember that song?
Please don't do this to me.
What a
All right.
terrible song.
Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore.
Sportscasters. So we'll do one at a time. We're not going to burn through all four like we, we're not some kind of animals.
We'll go around. We'll pass the talking stick, and we will share our Mount Rushmore. I'm very excited. We have no limitations or anything to it. Right. Just really whoever you want to put on there. So
it won't happen, but essentially all three of us could have the same one.
Yes.
It won't happen. We're not doing.
I feel like we have at least one that's all the same, but we'll see.
We'll see. I possibly, and I think it's only appropriate that we let the guests go first. So
yeah,
Alphonso,
first ever guest.
Who do you got?
All
and
right.
There's no order. You could say where you maybe see them on the Mount Rushmore.
They're all just equal in my eyes.
That's kind of the one of the reasons we do the Mount Rushmore. It's not ranking a top 5. We're just displaying.
Yeah.
So my fourth one is really gonna shock you guys, but we'll get there when we get there. You guys,
all right.
Fourth one. Number 1, my man, Bobby. I'm just kidding. Ernie Johnson, man. Ernie Johnson is my number 1. I cannot fathom. I mean, I can't explain enough how important this man is to playoff baseball. Like when you hear that TBS theme song, and then you hear Ernie Johnson, it's wild card baseball here. I'm like, oh my God, the feels, bro.
Yeah.
He's so good at what he does. And then when, he's also hosting, the NBA on TNT show and everything, he's good at what he does. He's passionate about what he does. He has a sense of humor, everything you want in not only a sportscaster, but a person that you're watching on your TV. Ernie Johnson has been. And like that, I was telling Mike the other day, when he's no longer calling playoff baseball, that's going to be like my Doc Emmerich leaving hockey thing for me, because Ernie's just been a staple of, he's why I look forward to October so much, him and somebody else that's on my list, but he's a really big part of my playoff baseball experience. So that's why I have him as one of my 4 Mount Rushmores.
I dig it.
That's awesome. And I think the multi-sport thing is really big and really cool that he is able to kind of adapt to both and be, so good at both. It really speaks.
I got a few like that.
Yeah. You hinted at that before, right? Or was that before we started recording?
I think it was before we started recording.
All right. Well, anyway, my first one, where should I go with my first one? I'll start. I have 2 baseballs, so I'll get one out of the way. I'll go with my homer pick. I'm picking Gary Cohen of the Mets. I'm going for him. I love him. That obviously he's probably the sportscaster I've listened to most of my life. He's always been the play-by-play guy for the Mets, and I just love him. I have a just place in my heart for Gary Cohen, so going with him. And I think he's objectively entertaining. Like there's other local team commentators that maybe aren't so good, and you just have to put up with them, and people like them because they're in your in their hometown. But I think Gary is tremendous.
So I want to touch on that. I agree with that. Like I love his home run calls. It's out of here. He's like a little kid. But I 100% agree. So I was actually watching the Mets and Rays last night. And because Florida
is Florida, yeah.
I had to watch with the Rays announcers. I wanted to die. They're bad. Like they're bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to say it. I was just like, I'd rather almost have it muted, like the TV mute, than listen to these clowns. Like it was just bad. Like all around, just bad. Tampa Bay Rays it's not good. Not a good look.
Get a new stadium while you're at it, by the way.
Get a new stadium. Get new commentators. I know a few guys. Up
and coming guys, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, like, it's such a shame because their field, like, from the outside, it looks not like the outside, but like from a fan's perspective, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like from TV, like you got the pools and stuff, but like apparently it's like a real dump inside. I've never been there personally, so just going by what I've heard.
I've heard that also, though.
Enough about the crappy Rays. So what I had mentioned off camera that I kind of have a baseball pick. So I'm gonna go with him right now. But why I say kind of, I'm picking him not for his baseball. Okay. He was also a Mets commentator. I'm going Howie Rose.
Nice.
Howie Rose used to call the New York Rangers.
Yep.
And man, I haven't even started talking about it, and I'm getting the goosebumps of Mato, Stefan Mato. I'm like, oh, I wasn't even alive, but like, obviously, as a big Rangers fan, I watch it back and just incredible, man. It's just so iconic, not just how much that meant to the New York Rangers as a franchise, but just that call. Like, here we are, 27 years later, and that's still one of the most, maybe a little biased saying this, but one of the most iconic calls, at least in hockey, but like in all of sports, that it's just so iconic. And it's like, any Rangers fan that like has watched that probably knows that call word for word. And it's just, oh man, goosebumps, man. So Howie Rose, I mean, he was also pretty good with the Mets too.
Yeah.
You know, beat the Mets, Great song.
All right. So you guys are
circling
showing
back
New York
around.
a lot of love.
Yep.
New York a lot of love. I wish that somebody from DC was on my Mount Rushmore, but unfortunately not this time around.
Yeah.
But my second one, I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and combine two people into one.
How the
because they were a team and they're the most underrated duo ever. I'm going Michael Cole and Taz, man.
Oh,
wow. Underrated duo to ever call wrestling.
Okay.
Ever. Every time Brock Lesnar's music hits. Well, here comes the pain. Like, they were so good together. And Michael Cole was just so brilliant. He gets a lot of slack, for things that he does nowadays. And I get it. But at the end of the day, man, like, I can't deny the man's talent. Like, he's so good. And Taz played off of him so well. And I might be biased because, like, that's my childhood. And I grew up watching those SmackDowns where, The Undertaker was the man on SmackDown. And, anytime somebody was in trouble, you're going one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Teddy Long.
Like, that was my childhood.
Yeah.
And, like, just Taz did such a good job of making the audience like really.
Now I'm thinking about Teddy's song is in my head. If it wasn't a tag team match, you were facing the Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Like he did, like Taz did such a good job at making you feel the emotion that you're supposed to feel as a viewer at home. And Michael Cole was so good at just keeping up with all the action in the ring, because this is when the cruiserweights were really on fire. So he had like very fast paced matches that he had to keep up with and call. This is when Rey Mysterio was really coming up, and he was bringing like a new flavor and new style to WWE. And Michael Cole like transitioned seamlessly between like the slower pace of wrestling that WWE was putting on before to now, like, okay, things are like speeding up 10 times here. And you have to really be able to keep up with every move, every sequence, and tell the story at the same time. And they always did it flawlessly. If you look at Taz's calls of John Cena hitting Big Show with the FU back in the day, back when he was, the doctor of thugonomics and stuff, like Taz's expressions as John Cena's picking him up, he's like 500 pounds. And then like when he drops him, he's like 500 pound F you. And it's so they were so good, man. Like I have to give them the love that they deserve because everybody talking about Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, rightfully so. But like, when are we gonna put some respect on the names of Michael Cole and Taz as one of the best duos in wrestling history?
Yeah,
So.
I think because of like they were like the ones coming after JR and King, and like because of how iconic they were, I feel like they get overshadowed for that, unfortunately, because I do agree with you. I think they're a very underrated team and individuals too. I mean, like you said, Cole gets a lot of heat just for being like an idiot and sometimes, but like that's not really him. That's like who in his ear. But like if you watch some of the shows, I can't remember some of the shows. There was he did I think like one of the NXT UK tournaments. I want to say
actually I think it was the Cruiserweight Classic he did.
It was the Cruiserweight Classic. He didn't have he didn't have who in his ear, and it showed. Like he's very very good, and I also have to respect like how long he's been in the damn business for. Like wow, even Taz now, going to Taz, like Taz is good now. Like he's over in AEW. He's just always been like very good at the speakings.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw Michael Cole was an honorable mention for me. He almost made it onto my list because that's what Mike just said. Was exactly what I was thinking. He's been at it week in, week out for so long now. Like he's definitely, especially I would say for all of our, real lives and eras, he's been the voice of the WWE for us, really, So he was definitely up there for me. But you mentioned him, Alphonso. I went with Jim Ross. JR is going on Classic. My Mount Rushmore, paying a little bit more homage to the classic. Obviously, I wasn't around in the 90s or anything like that when he was really, obviously the most iconic, I would say, call in WWE history, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Undertaker, Mankind.
Yep, so, I knew what you were going to say. It's funny you mention that. Alphonso knows why it's funny. We were just talking about that clip. What was it, last week? I think it was last week.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. And I pulled it up and Go ahead. I don't want to hijack it.
I don't have too much else to say. I think he's just really iconic and kind of was that voice of the WWE transition. Like I would say, like Vince was really the commentator like in the, late 80s, early 90s, and then it transitioned to JR. And now I think, like I just said, Cole kind of has that mantle now. But JR, I think, was just so entertaining all the time. And and like the duo with King also, I think, definitely played some stuff up.
Even though King is like an absolute idiot, I think he was just
he's a goon, dude.
He's complimented by JR very well. And you mentioned Vince McMahon on commentary. He was brilliant. I have to say, he was absolutely brilliant on commentary. And then just to touch on like JR, it's like that call too is like so iconic. It's like any wrestling fan that has seen that. Also, like I said with Howie Rose, like you know that call like verbatim. Like as we were watching, I pulled it up on my phone in class when I was showing Alfonso. Like I was saying it back. It's like and I think he's just he was the voice of the WWE for so long, and now voice of AEW kind of.
A little bit of
kind of, but it's unfortunate. But he was always really good just with everything. And I'm talking so much about him because he was an honorable mention for me. Like he was like very very close in being there. Like he was number 5 if anything. But he had such like we talk about it a lot for like our Hall of Fames and stuff. He had good range. Like he could do a sit down interview and like be very, like soft spoken and stuff like that. He unfortunately had to do somber things too on air, and just like really made you like feel everything. So JR. I will stick with the wrestling trend here. Man, it's emotional. I miss him a lot. He's still alive, but I miss him in NXT. Mauro Ranallo. I did a project on him in school. My goodness. I just don't even know what to say about how great he is, whether it's UFC or NXT. I mean, now he's over in Impact. Like him being in Impact makes me want to watch Impact. I'm gonna say it,
Yeah.
like nothing against Impact. Impact is pretty underrated, I think. But now you bring in Mauro Ranallo, and I think he's just overall one of the best sportscasters, announcers in like the sports entertainment, if you will, with wrestling and MMA, UFC, whatever. It's just like if you go on YouTube and look at like his reactions with the little camera that's on the desk, and like while he's calling, he's flipping out. He's so animated. He's standing up, mamma mia! Like, come on, man! Like, it's just so good.
He gets into it,
He's so into it. Like he's like he feels like it's like he's a fan, and that's just so cool. And to mention another duo that I think is underrated and underappreciated was him and Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness is an absolute king. Even when they did a little trio with those two and what was it, Percy Watson, like Percy was kind of green, like when he first came on, like it was like very noticeable, but like those two elevated him so much. Oh man, just give it to me in the veins, just everything. Be Mauro and Nigel. I want it.
I like that duo too. That's
such a good duo.
First time I heard Nigel, I was like, I like the fact that his voice doesn't sound American.
Yeah.
And it really just hammers home that international feel that WWE is trying to get anyway. I'm like, this is a good step in the direction that you want to go in. So that's a good one.
And then of course WWE knows how to mess good things up, but we won't go there.
Love to hate him, hate to love him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very accurate.
Can't live with him, can't live without him.
What do you got, so for your next pick?
Oh, number three.
My
man, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, he's another one I was thinking about putting
Stephen A. Smith. I don't care what anybody says about him. I don't care how much dumb stuff he says sometimes. I don't care. The amount of respect I have for this man cannot be measured at all. First of all, this man is the highest paid employee at ESPN. The highest paid.
He's probably been there the longest, I would say.
He has. He's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, you look at his career and you look at how he started off in Philadelphia and
he has quite the journey.
Yeah. And how he like really has shown how journalism is supposed to go. You're supposed to develop authentic relationships with these athletes, treat them like people.
Because they are.
They'll respond. And they'll respond because a lot of these athletes do want to talk to the media, but they want to talk to media personnel that they trust and that they don't feel like are going to try to trash their names in the media without any type of like evidence or anything like that at all. And a lot of these media people do it. A lot of people make stories out of nothing. I remember Adam Schefter recently came out and said he had no sources for that Aaron Rodgers story.
Absolute clown.
Like when you do stuff like that, you ruin your reputation. I haven't seen Stephen A do anything like that. And if he does, he comes on the air and he owns it. He's like, my bad. Like my source wasn't as reliable as I thought they were.
Right.
And like, I just have so much respect for the show. I have respect for the fact that like most of his opinions, he never walks back on them unless he's just blatantly like wrong. And there's nothing he can like say to defend himself. Like he's very like steadfast in his opinions and everything like that. And I like that because when you're debating somebody, you want them to like, you don't want to debate somebody who's always backtracking. You want to debate somebody who's going to come at you just like you're coming at them. Stephen A has been doing it for a while. He's been carrying First Take on his back. First Take is hard to watch when he's not there. And now his plateau of shows and things are just stretching. Like his appearances are stretching. Stephen A's world, he's on The Jump, he's on NBA. I forgot what the show is called on ESPN, but he's on
everywhere.
Yeah.
He has his own Sports Center slot,
and it shows like how hard he's worked, to get to this point and that reputation he's built. And just like to talk about him actually, like he's just so entertaining. He's so entertaining to watch. you know, like you said, sometimes maybe it's because of the outlandish things he might say from time to time, but again, a lot of the time it's you know, it's how he feels, and that's just him, and people appreciate people being real, and
Yeah.
that's Stephen A for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, anybody
I
that they
also
make
hate
like
the
a
Cowboys, so he's like my best friend.
anybody that like gets like a parody or account made about them on Twitter is like so good. Like if it's a successful parody account, that account I have to I'm naming them, so I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's so good. They just like post like so many funny things about him.
and his first move was to sign Lamar Odom.
Who was on crack?
Oh, good. There was one night that it was like the first time that like the baby filter was being used on his face.
Oh yeah.
My friends and I watched that clip like 400 times in a row, and we kept laughing. Maybe not 400, but you know what I mean. We watched it so many times, and we just were dying laughing for 10 minutes straight. Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah, that's my guy, man. Like that really is my guy. He's my favorite like the animation on his face,
right?
He's just so happy. I really appreciate how he's like,
oh, what?
Like you know how in wrestling, certain wrestlers have opened the door for other wrestlers to enter into Hollywood and things like that.
Yes.
Before our very eyes, I don't know if anybody's noticing, but Stephen A is kind of opening the door for sportscasters in the future to get into Hollywood as well. Whether it's by him being in General Hospital, or whether it's by him just like being friends with all these different celebrities that make movies or make music and things like that. He's showing that as a sportscaster, you can be a brand as well. You can be a bigger, larger than life personality. And that's not really something that was thought of like, you know, a decade or two ago when, you know, most of the time, if you're a newscaster, that's all you do is news. Like you're not bigger than the news, you know, that you're reporting. But a lot of times Stephen A is bigger than the news that he's reporting. His opinion about the news that he's reporting is bigger than the news itself. And when you can get up to that level, that's how you know like you're really changing the game. And so I can always appreciate that stuff, that innovative stuff.
Hey, there it is again.
So I actually can't find
I think it's Stephen A. Burner.
Is it Stephen A. Burner? I don't know, because I thought
that's what it is.
I'm not really sure, because I thought I followed, but you know, I made a new Twitter and stuff like that, so maybe I don't anymore. But
Stephen with a PH.
Yeah, I don't know if they deleted their account or anything.
Well, I'll move on to my next one if you want to keep looking, or if you don't. Either way.
In my search though, I did see, unfortunately, New Jack had passed away.
Oh man,
I think that happened last night. So R.I.P. New Jack, and
that's very sad.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with his family and friends.
I'm gonna go with my third one here. I'm going with Mike Breen, NBA commentator mostly. You know, yep, there it is. That's the one, man. I love it so much. You know, him again, I'll go back to duos. Him and Clyde Frazier on the Knicks games, absolutely elite combo. So good with Mike being on the play-by-play being so good, and then you know Clyde just being himself in his suits and all that. And it's just so good. And then also he's the voice of NBA on ESPN. He calls the finals, and he, you know, kind of similar to what Alphonso said with EJ on MLB baseball playoffs. You know, it's the same thing. You know, I just get so hyped for Mike Breen, and he's so good at what he does. And yeah, we're kind of running a little long. So if you guys have any other comments, you know,
I can't wait to see them call some playoff games. That's going to be new for the Knicks. Clyde Frazier was he was an honorable mention because like his suits, his
Charisma.
Alliterations and dishing and swishing.
Oh, rhyming. Yeah, the rhyming.
Yeah, beginning to percolate tonight.
Yes.
Yes. I love him. He's so silly. He's just got such a silly voice.
Yes.
But like I like it. It stands out. Doesn't match him at all. Like if you see him, you don't think of like beginning to percolate and dishing and swishing. Like I would never in my wildest dreams think that voice matches with him.
Yeah.
Alphonso, do you have anything to say before I go on to my third pick?
Not about that. No. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So Alphonso, you mentioned him before. I have to put him in here. And it's a shame that he is retired, but Mike Doc Emmerich, I did a project on him in school as well. Absolute king. Just there's like interviews with him and stuff like that. He's like made up his own language and stuff. Like some of the things he actually says, like on air calling a game, it's like they're not even real words, or like he'll use a real word, but like add a different like ending to it. And it's like, what the heck does that mean? It's just like, that doesn't make any sense. How does that have to do with hockey in any way, shape, or form? And it's just like, he just goes with the flow, and like how he envisions it. Like he talks about that, like some of the words that he uses, it's so like articulated well. And it's just like, man. And for hockey being such a fast sport, he doesn't miss a beat. I don't think I don't know if he breathes. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's got gills or something. That made no sense. But like, I don't know. He's got to be some kind of superhuman who could just, yeah, keep trying to figure that one out, Alphonso, that he's got gills on land. But he's just, a mile a minute, and just, you keep up with it. And oh man, any time that he's like something crazy happens, he's just, his energy is just, oh man, that's it.
He's incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible. And
absolutely.
Hockey is like probably like my third or fourth favorite sport.
It's all right. It's all right to have wrong opinions, but it's okay.
Doc is like the best commentator I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The reason he wasn't on mine is because I don't think it's fair to put him on mine, since like hockey isn't like on my Mount Rushmore of sports, really. Even though I really enjoy the game, it's just I didn't grow up around it, so obviously like, I can only be so connected. But
right.
Doc is probably the best commentator. I've talked to Mike about this, like his ability to keep up with the game, like you said, and his ability to not miss anything and always know where the puck is. That takes skill, because even when I'm watching the game live in the arena, sometimes I have no idea where the puck is. So I'm like, how does Doc know where the puck is? And then how does he know everybody's last name and how to pronounce it? Know exactly when they have the puck. I'm convinced he's a computer, because number one, he doesn't miss anything, and then his head shape, it's too perfectly structured for him to be an actual human being. So he had to be developed in a lab.
Yeah, it's just always dialed in, man.
Yeah, specifically for the purpose of, they were like, we need a hockey commentator in the future. Okay, cool. We're gonna make Doc Emmerich. Like that doesn't even sound like a
made it in a lab.
Yeah, he was the Doc that, like, he made himself. He's a Doc. Comes together. Not actually. So starting off with the fourth picks, Alphonso, who you got to round out your Mount Rushmore?
I'm gonna be real quick with this one.
Okay.
Not a lot of details, but you are what you say you are, right?
All right.
I'm on my Mount Rushmore.
Wow.
I'm number 4.
Oh wow, my feels. Oh, that hit me right. Awesome. That hit me right here.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
if you don't believe that you could be one of the greatest of all time, you can't.
Oh man, now I kind of want to change my fourth pick.
I don't come into any situation to be able to say anybody was better than me. I'm a very competitive person. I'm a Scorpio. I don't like losing. Mike knows that firsthand. And our friendship almost ended because he beat me in video games in my own house. That's like you don't. Anyway, listen. So I'm number 4 on my Mount Rushmore. Am I saying I'm as good as those guys? I'm not saying I am now, but I'm saying there's no reason, with how hard I work and how much I love this stuff, that I can't be. Because somebody at some point is going to reach that level of eliteness again. Why can't?
Why not? Yeah, why not you?
Yep.
That's the
all I
mindset
have.
you gotta have. That's what I am is all about, right?
Yep.
And that's Fieldsy.
Yeah, for sure. So rounding out my Mount Rushmore, I'm going back to baseball again. And this is I think it was a little bit of an interesting pick. It was one that I thought of almost right away though, and I wasn't able to kind of shake it off. And there's obviously I think bigger names, but
Taylor
I'm
Swift.
going with Vin Scully. I'm going with Vin Scully,
Wow.
the longtime Dodgers commentator. There's something about him that I feel like just embodies baseball to me.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a tremendous amount of games with him, but every time that I did hear his voice, I just felt like he was who should be calling a baseball game. It should be Vin Scully. And another thing, he did it for so long. He just retired a few years ago while he was in his 80s. He was doing it for so long, and it's such a high level. And I just have a massive amount of respect for him. And yeah, that's who I'm going with to round out my Mount Rushmore.
Respect.
Yeah.
So after Alfonso's pick, I want to change mine, but I'm not going to because it would be disrespectful to this individual. But yeah, myself, I'm an honorable mention, and so is Alfonso for my Mount Rushmore. But I'm glad I'm going last here because I can say I'm the only one that's including a woman. Rachel Nichols.
Nice.
Maybe she didn't call any sports to my knowledge, but all over ESPN. And she's someone that I watched just about every morning growing up in school. Like I wake up and I'm putting on ESPN and I'm watching Sports Center. And another honorable mention I want to mention, the late great Stuart Scott. He was on there too because it was like the ones that like jumped out at me were him and Rachel Nichols. It seemed like they were always on ESPN, the morning Sports Center that I was watching.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because I think, and there was probably some before Rachel, but for at least our generation, it seemed like Rachel Nichols really set the tone and really was like that pioneer for women in sportscasting to be something bigger, that any man that can do this, a woman can too. And she came in there and she's so knowledgeable. And it's like, you don't even, it's like the gender card is just completely out the window. And it's just like, she's so intelligent. And I think she really paved the way for a lot of young women coming up in the sportscasting.
Yeah, that's an awesome pick.
Yeah.
Awesome pick. Totally agree with you too. Her and I feel like Erin Andrews, give a little shout to
Erin
her
Andrews was another one.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of, I definitely wanted to incorporate a woman. And Rachel Nichols was the one that stood out. There's no disrespect to like Erin Andrews. I thought of Catherine Tappan as well. And oh man, I completely forgot. Sorry. Jamie Hirsch. Jamie Hirsch also, both of them on the NHL Network. KT is also done, Catherine Tappan has done other things too. I think she's done some stuff with baseball and football.
Cool.
Just a couple honorable mentions. I'm not going to go into details about them because I know we're going over time. But Joe Buck, for one.
I'm surprised he wasn't on yours.
He had to move over for me.
Oh, okay.
Understandable.
Yep, makes sense.
Joe Buck, one of my favorites ever, called a lot of my favorite moments. So he's up there. And Renee Paquette, formerly known as Renee Young. I've always thought that she was great at everything that she did. So happy to see her having her first kid with Moxley. And I wish nothing but the best for her and him going forward. But she's always been great. She was great in WWE. She's great at her podcast. She's great at everything. So
I've heard a lot of good things about her podcast. I have to check it out after I listen to the Nisto Bros podcast, of course.
Yes. So let's Alfonso, why don't you recount your Mount Rushmore and we'll all go around and then we'll move on from the first ever Mount Rushmore with guests. Very fun. Thank you, Alfonso, again.
Yep. I had Ernie Johnson. I had Stephen A. Smith. I had myself, of course. And who was my last one again? We've been talking for so long. I forgot who my
You had Michael Cole and Taz.
Michael Cole and Taz, the duo.
As one person.
Combining them
As one.
person. Yes.
Yeah, Michael Taz, if you will, or Taz Cole, if you will.
Yes.
Us, who's your Mount Rushmore rounded?
My
off?
Mount Rushmore was Gary Cohen. We had Jim Ross, Jr. Put it in the books. Vin Scully,
you killed him.
and Mike Breen.
Bang! Bang!
Yeah, the double bang, iconic. So good.
Anytime, like you say that, like he's not on the Knicks anymore, but I think of just Mello doing his little 3 thing in his head. What a king! What a king!
Yeah.
Even though he's an absolute clown. But anyway, mine was Howie Rose, mainly for his hockey, Doc Emmerich, Mauro Ranallo, and Rachel Nichols.
Great list. Great.
So good. Such a good list. Us is going to get ready to share his screen for the post of the week. And, you know, it's only fitting that it is a sports theme post of the week. It is a baseball post of the week whenever he gets that shared.
Boom.
And we'll talk about it for the visual learners as well, or the audio learners.
Here it is. We got from @pitching ninja Rob Friedman. Thank you for the post.
Let's go, Peacock. Getting
Yeah,
Harry Potter on there. Sorry.
Wait, which Amanda died?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
R.I.P. Amanda.
Jesus Aguilar of the Miami Marlins, first baseman. All the tweet says Jesus Aguilar stealing signs. Period. We got 733,000 views. That's a lot. So here is the clip.
There we go. Which is silly. So for the visual learners, I don't know who it is on the D-backs that's on first base. I would assume it's probably a catcher.
I think so too.
Because he's got the little wristband thing, like most quarterbacks wear it in football. You know, the plays, it has the plays, the coaching sleeve, I think they call it, and it has their plays and then close it down. So Jesus Aguilar goes over to him while this guy's taking his gloves off, and he just opens it, tries to take a little quick peek ski, and whoever it is on the D-backs, sorry, I can't give you credit, he's just like flips out. He's like, get the heck out of here, man, like what are you doing? and Aguilar was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's very sheepishly. I wasn't doing anything here. And I actually have a funny comment on this. I was watching, there was a Mets Marlins game earlier in the year that, you know, a lot of the fielders now, they have like those little shift cards that they keep so that they can see, you know, he snatched that out of Dom Smith's back pocket.
What?
And it's just, he's all doing it for jokes. They were laughing about it afterwards. It's no one's taking it really. I mean, this guy kind of took it a little seriously.
Yeah, he looked like he was pretty pissed.
But
wait, Aguilar did that to
Aguilar did that to Dom Smith.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so he's definitely out there having a good time, and that's, I think, you know, this is a fun part of baseball. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like I don't know. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like first basemen have the most like personalities, because like anybody you see them over there, you know, you see like Rizzo and Freddie Freeman having themselves a time. Ryan Zimmerman, you know, it's just like, I don't know. They always seem like they're having a good old time over there. You know, whether they're chirping them or, you know, just having a fun time with a little fun little friendly rib.
Third baseman are the loneliest.
Third base, the hot corner, just keep getting line drives shot at them.
No, I agree with that, because I feel like first baseman, you know, they gotta
the most interaction.
You develop, like, you know, you probably talk to so many guys that you know, it's just like you get a rhythm and of how you interact with the different players and stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing. There's the post of the week. There'll be a link in the description of the podcast for the audio learners to see that little clip. It's only 5 seconds, so
you know, we've crap.
And he broke already.
Oh, I can't. Composure. We've talked about a lot of geniuses and guys that are worthy of praise, you know, like someone who wasn't involved in sports really that deserves it is Albert Einstein. He was a genius, worth all the praise, right? But have you heard about his brother at all?
No.
Yeah, his brother Frank was an absolute monster.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the show, Alphonso.
That is something. That's a very good. I haven't heard anything like that ever. That was a very good one. That was very good.
That's why I couldn't compose myself before it. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be great. Just a big deep sigh.
I got a little this is just like a little tiny joke here. So and then Alfonso, you can close it out. What do you call an average radio?
Average radio?
An average radio.
I've got nothing.
Yeah. Average.
Stereotypical.
Stereotypical. Alfonso is never gonna come back. But
yeah,
Alfonso,
thanks for having me on. But
I will come back under one condition.
Mm-hmm.
You guys let me get 2 of them out real quick.
Oh. Well, we can allow that. Oh, I'm excited now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
He's got 2.
Joke number 1.
Oh.
This is one of the internet jokes that I found. My next one is going to be my own personal.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So first one. What do you call a boat full of smart people?
Boat full of smart people. A smartphone.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have nothing.
A scholarship.
Oh. Wow.
Look at his dumb smile.
That's awesome.
You have to hold the smile there for the effect.
Yeah, big time.
Okay. All right. And this one I literally made up all on my own. No help from the internet, no help from anyone. Okay. What do dogs do when they don't like the movie that they're watching?
What do dogs do when they don't like the movie they're watching? They bark.
That's usually what everybody says, but no, that's wrong. The answer is they press pause.
Oh. Wow.
They press pause.
That's an original.
That's an original joke.
That's an original I Am Morning Show joke.
There you go.
Wow. That's incredible.
I need to put that on a t-shirt.
It does. I'm buying that one in every size. Well, maybe not every size, but every color. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Whoops. What am I doing here? I'm just open up all kinds of things on accident.
I don't know, but next week on
Yes,
Nisto Bros podcast, episode 60, tune in. Don't forget, we're going to be doing a sandwich draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we saw it from Barstool.
Yeah.
I'm fogging up the
Too humid. Yeah, we saw it on Barstool's Instagram, and we're going to adapt it a little bit and give our own 2 cents on which sandwiches we would like to draft.
The big 6-0.
Big 6-0. That's huge.
Big 6-0.
Nisto Drinks just hit the big 9-0.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I stopped counting Nisto.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Maybe we'll tally it up one time.
Yeah, maybe we'll. And I'm being like, yeah, welcome back to episode 664 of Nisto Eats. I'm definitely not that. I'm definitely not into that. That's like, that's way too much.
Yeah. That's a
I'll
lot.
get there. I'll get there at some point, but
Hey,
not anytime soon.
And maybe if one of those sandwiches that maybe you want is a grilled cheese, what do you think? What do you think that they should do, Mike?
That's a good one. If you really like grilled cheese or any kind of cheese for that matter, and you're from Long Island, New York, download the Cheesleys app. Use promo code Nisto Bros at checkout on any orders 25 or more, and you will receive $5 off your orders of at least 25. Promo code Nisto Bros. Do it.
There it is.
That one kind of hurt my throat.
Yeah, that was big.
Kind of hurt my throat.
Thank you again so much to Alphonso for joining the show.
Yes,
we had a great time. I think I was surprised also we didn't have any overlaps on the Mount Rushmore.
I was surprised too.
Yeah,
I thought one of you guys would say Ernie Johnson for sure, but
I thought one of you was going to say Mauro Ranallo, at least one. But
we all
I mean that's just
avenues.
It's just high praise to all the sportscasters out there that everyone is great in their own way.
Yes, sir.
But yes, thank you, Alphonso, for coming on. Blessed to have you on. Any last comments, questions, concerns, plugs?
You guys are what you say you are. So speak positivity into your lives. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for having me on. If you want to see more episodes, including the 50-day challenge, the Schizo podcast, or past episodes of the I Am Morning Show, just go to www.iammorningshow.com. Pick yourself up some merch, drop some comments in the forum about how you've inspired others or others have inspired you. Just pay it forward. That's all you got to do. Create an account. Use your Facebook or your Google.
Do it.
It's easy.
All that stuff will be in the description.
Yeah, check it out for sure.
The I Am Morning Show Instagram, website, Alphonso's personal Instagram address, social, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debit card number.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
In the CVC.
Oh yeah, of course you can't get really far without that one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you again. Peace, love, sip.
Man, I got nothing. Speak positivity into yourself and others, and eat and listen.
Goodbye.
Thanks.